Hey guys, Ferno the Night here, bringing you a new episode of Redstone Tutorials. Real quick, I'm sorry I haven't gotten an episode out sooner. I've been really busy lately, plus the work area that I was working on this map, where I had all my other Redstone creations, sadly enough, I kind of lost that area. I went out exploring to look for I saw this temple, and I thought, oh, I might make some creations in there, and in doing so, I've lost my, workspace area, so I've been trying to find it, and then I just finally decided, you know what, I'll just work with what I've got right here. I'll do my tutorials over here, and I need it to stay daytime, so let me quickly time set it. And yeah, so we're just going to go over the next chapter, which is, I guess, chapter 5, because the last chapter I did was supposed to be chapter 3, but then I instantly combined 3 and 4, so last chapter is both 3 and 4. So we're going to do chapter 5, which is also chapter 4, I guess. I don't know. So we're just doing the next chapter, I guess. It's confusing. It's like episode 4, chapter 5. Regardless, let's get back to F1. What I'm going to show you here is the redstone repeater and the redstone comparator. I also wanted to go over the daylight sensor. The daylight sensor was a device that I was not sure if I was going to include in redstone tutorials, not daylight tutorials, but in redstone tutorials, because if you look in the crafting recipe real quick, there is no redstone involved, and truth be honest, I didn't really see, at the time, I didn't really see much creations you can use with the daylight sensor. Although, I'm sure there is plenty of creations, there's just not many things that I can think of that can be daylight sensitive in Minecraft. But if you go into redstone, the daylight sensor is underneath the redstone subject, and therefore I guess the daylight sensor is part of redstone. So let's go over it real quick. Since I haven't included it in the crafting recipe chapter. So how you can use to craft the daylight sensor is you have to use 3 wood planks, wood plank slabs. They must be slabs, but it doesn't matter what kind of wood. So like I used oak wood in this, but you can use birch, you can use spruce, you can use any type of wood. It just has to be wood, and it just has to be slabs. Then you do the top middle row with quartz. You don't need quartz blocks, you just need that type of quartz, raw quartz, I guess. And then you just put solid glass on top, and you get a daylight sensor. What the daylight sensor does is it detects daylight. I don't know if it has like a power level, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it gets weaker as like morning or sunset comes. But all its major purpose is to detect daylight and provide power when the sun is up. So it's basically a solar panel, except the power is only during the day and you can't store the power. Well, maybe there is a way to store the power, but that's going to be like a lot of repeaters. Speaking of which, here's the repeater. You use smooth stone, 2 redstone torches, and a redstone in the center. And the repeater is pretty much easy to use. What you use it for is to refresh redstone signals, so I'll show that here in a minute. And you can also to delay, so when a redstone current comes in from behind, it delays it 1 tick in this setting and then continues out. But if you hit it once, you increase it by 1 tick. Hit again, you increase it by 1 tick. And I'm right clicking, by the way, guys, not left clicking. So left clicking will destroy it. But you can increase its tick by 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 settings on what type of delay you want, and yeah. And over here we have the I have to look at this comparator. If I try to pronounce it, I'll probably say something stupid like comparator or something a little bit fast that wouldn't make sense. You use quartz in this. I don't know why some redstone things use quartz. I don't know what's so special about quartz, but I guess with the complex recipes it provides power, I guess. 3 redstone torches in a triangle. and then smooth stone in the bottom, as if you're making a slab. And you make the comparator. So there's only one use I can think of with the comparator, and I'll show you here in a minute. But there's also like their setting when you right click it, the very end redstone torch looking thing comes out and it glows, but I don't know what it does. Like I'll show you guys what like when it's used, but I have not a clue what this torch does when you flip it on and off. If someone could please leave in the comments down below what it does, that would be much appreciated. Because I'm at a loss, and I don't. And this is a tutorial, so at least leave a comment down below for anyone else that's watching this. So hopefully someone else can figure out what to use these comparators for. I can't even find much information on it myself. So anyway, so what I've got here is I've got two redstone signals. This one's just the redstone signal by itself. I've went out 20 units, and as you can see at 15, the wire dies down, and my birds decide that they want to chirp. So I'm gonna have to go calm them down after this recording. But anyhow, so after 15 units, the signal dies down. But over here I have the same signal, except I refresh it with a redstone repeater. And if you can actually, I'll just go down a little bit, and if you can actually look, the redstone repeater, it's hard to see at the very over here, but the redstone repeater has refreshed the signal, so therefore the signal starts anew, as if I just started it right here, compared to right here where it's still going. So my 15 blocks of power starts here again, so it continues on, and you can actually see, like down here, the color is much more brighter because it has more signal compared to over here where it's just dying out. Sadly enough, the comparator does not do that. As you can see, the signal comes in faint and it comes out faint. The comparator does not refresh the signal whatsoever. I can actually, here, I can give a better example. I'll just replace this here with the comparator and get rid of that. And as you can see, we got signal all the way to the end of the wire with the repeater, but we still don't have any signal out here with the comparator. If anything, we just delayed the signal one block, because the signal it looks like the signal comes in to the comparator and comes out with the same charge. So if anything, we delayed the thing by like one charge, but and it doesn't refresh the charge if I flip it on. Like, I guess I can refresh the signal, and yeah, it still doesn't change anything. So the third torch doesn't seem to do anything with the signal. Now over here, I'm going to show you what I can actually find a use for the comparator for. And like I said, I'm not sure what the torch does, but here's the only thing I can find that's useful for the comparator, and that is if you flip a lever and put a charge coming in that's stronger from the side than it is coming from the behind. If a charge coming in from the side is stronger than from the input, it turns the comparator off. So when the charge is coming, which means you can actually control how to turn on a redstone signal. Like, you have a signal that is always on. So I guess if you like combine it with a daylight sensor, like a daylight sensor here, but to turn on a certain thing, but then you want sometimes to turn it off, you can use a comparator to do that. And actually, I've got like a system set up in Gold Guild with a PvP arena with a comparator and a daylight sensor to open up the doors and during daytime and close them during nighttime. So I'll show you guys how to do something like that in a later tutorial video. But if you go over here to the repeater, if I turn this on, it does nothing. The repeater continues on as if it always does. The signal doesn't seem to. The signal seems to do nothing, and the glowstone continues to glow. So that's like the only use I can find with the comparator, is that you can turn it off if you bring in a signal from the side stronger than it is coming from behind. Because yeah, if I extend this so that it's a weaker signal, I still get it, the comparator can still turn on. So you have to refresh it that it's stronger than the signal coming in from behind. But otherwise you can pretty much control it. Let's just keep it to daytime right now. Alright, so right here I want to kind of show you how you can use repeaters, a little better example on how to use their delay feature, because here's a way you can measure their delay. If you stack up a bunch of repeaters in a row, you can actually measure their delay by putting in a charge, and they delay it by 1 tick, so you can actually watch how fast a redstone tick goes, because it's delayed. And if you increase the delay time, only a certain number of repeaters light up and whatnot, but you can actually watch the redstone ticks go by. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and use this. And as you know, if you click a button, even though there's all this redstone wire, it does not slow down the current. The glowstone turns on as soon as I hit the button. But if you put repeaters in the way, just real quick, and now if I hit the button, it doesn't turn on right away. There's a slight delay to it, and I can actually increase it by increasing the delay time. The further back the torches are, the further apart the torches are, the more delay there is. So I'm going to increase it to maximum with the setup I've got, and then when I hit it now, the button is already retracted and the glowstone has only just turned on. So let's just go ahead and move on, because that's how you use repeaters. You use it to refresh a redstone charge, and you use it to delay a redstone charge. So here we have is the daylight sensor. So as you can see, it activates the redstone during daytime, and it turns on the glowstone. Now you don't need to set it up like it has to be connected to redstone wire. You can connect it directly to the glowstone. I just wanted to show that it's compatible with redstone wire. I can also put it on top of the redstone wire and it will still work. So yeah. Also, it's not it is not like completely dependent on sunlight. Like like you don't have to just cover the top and it would stop working. If I go down here, this one's still working. Daylight is coming in from the side, and whatever daylight manages to reach this thing, it still is functional. Now if I block it off and the tunnel goes dark, and let me kind of refresh this thing here, give it a block update, and yeah, it turns off now. But as soon as I let light back in, boom, it turns back on. So these guys are light sensitive, but I mean, glowstone won't turn them on, but they can somehow detect like when it's daytime, and then if daylight actually hits it whatsoever. So you don't even need that much daylight. Like, that thing's underground and it still works lit. So yeah, so you really don't need that much to get them going. Now I'm gonna go ahead and flip it to night to show that they work without set time. That is not time night. What? Oh, time set night. Time set night. So I flipped it to time set night. Oh, so yeah, the when it gets to sunset, the charge is like with the on top of the glowstone, it's still working, but like this glowstone has turned off because the signal has been getting weaker and weaker. So this daylight sensor just can't do it. It's just like it's choking. It's choking, and then when it now it can only work on one signal, and once that's why this glowstone's still turned on. But once that one signal once it gets too dark for that one signal to work, it just turns off. Now what I kind of wish is that there's a way to put a daylight sensor on top of a glowstone like this, but somehow make it detect that when it's nighttime, it turns on the glowstone, so that way it can function like street lights. So it turns on lights when it's nighttime, and then turns the lights off when it's daytime. So there might be some way to do that, but I can't think of a way to make street lights, because I can make something like that underground. But if you want to make street lights, you want to do it normally. You want to do it. You want to have something probably like this. So I'm not sure how you can make a signal go all the way up here without putting something on top. But I can't use the system that I can think of on top of this redstone. So I'm not quite sure how you can probably do it, but there's probably a way. I bet someone has done it before. I'm not the best at redstone. I'm good at redstone, but that doesn't mean I know all the tricks and secrets. So let's go ahead and flip it back to daytime, because all these... How did I do that? I somehow made ow with the 0. But yeah, so I think this would do it for this redstone tutorials. If you enjoyed this chapter, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave any comments on any details I may have missed, such as the comparator, weird third torch function that... Hey, this redstone signal is changing. It's getting dimmer and brighter. I am so confused right now. Okay, I have no idea. I found a function with it, and I don't even know what to think of it. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this redstone tutorials, please leave a like. I already said all this. Please tell me what this function is doing, because it's changing the signal, and it's never done that before. I think somehow it has to do with this connection, the way this is wired up. Oh, yeah, I'll have to look up, and I have to look into this, but please leave a comment down below where I can probably find the answer to this, and help everyone else understand this. I am fascinated. I am going to be experimenting with this sometime soon, when I have free time, of course. But yeah, so also leave any comments down below on what you would like to see for future tutorials. Even though I know what I'm going to do in my future tutorials, there might be something that I haven't thought up of, and you might want to ask me down below. Like, hey, what about this type of creation? Can you do this for your advanced creations video? I know you probably didn't know I was doing an advanced creation video, but yeah, I'll be showing some advanced gadgets and whatnot in the future, in probably the last redstone tutorial videos. And if you actually have a tutorial if you actually have something you want me to make a tutorial of, please also leave that down in the comments below, and I can see what I can do for it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next chapter, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.